Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. It's a little chilly and a little windy out here in Henderson, like most of the parts of the state right now, I guess. But welcome to 2017. Here we are, finally ready for the start of a new year, and we've got a big show lined up for you today. All of our guests joining us on the Truck Center Company's hotline. If you have a great career in mind and you haven't decided what that might be yet, you might check out dieseltex.com. Our lineup today, it's fantastic. We are all over the board with guests and topics. We have got Derek Garfield, the head coach of Fairbury's wrestling team, on the way. A recorded video yesterday with Matt Kern, the girls coach at York. We're going to check in with Exeter-Milligan girls coach Jackson Krejci. We're going to try to get Fred Ivey, who is the Lewiston AD, to talk a little bit about the Mudecas tournament going on in Beatrice this week. And then Tony Chapman in studio, we think. He's on his way anyway, for the end of the show and some Strive 5 games coming up. But in any effect, should be a lot of fun. Hashtag Prep Huddle Live if you want to join the conversation online on Twitter, Facebook, wherever it might be. We'll find it if it's at hashtag Prep Huddle Live. Right now we want to have go to the Truck Center Company's hotline. We want to bring in Derek Garfield, the head coach of Fairbury's wrestling. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us here on a Wednesday. Well, no, the pleasure is all ours. Let's go back a few days to this past Saturday. The team was at Central City for the tournament, returned home with a team championship, 3 individual titles. Talk about how the guys wrestled. That's a good tournament, and always good to come home with some trophies and some medals.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, our goal is to compete with the best in the state, and so we've kind of made it our mantra that we're going to go out and we're going to see as good a competition as we can see. The Central City Invite was definitely a tough tournament. Really 5 quality Class B wrestling schools there. Obviously, you've got Central City that's got a fantastic history, and so for us to go in there and win that thing, we're pretty excited about that. You know, we did bring home those 3 individual champions, which was fantastic. Saw a lot of great head-to-head individual matchups. And so going forward, it's something we can build off of for sure.
And during that tournament, Patrick Ondrak became the 7th Jeff wrestler to get to 100 wins. Talk about what he has, what type of impact he's had on the program.
You bet. It's my pleasure to talk about Patrick Ondrak. You know, there are certain kids that just impact your program more than you can even describe, and Patrick's one of those kids. He carries with him a 4.0 grade point average. He is the true definition of what a student athlete should be. He is a great leader. He helps with our youth wrestling program. Now, this is a young man that started wrestling as a 7th grader, and he had never touched a wrestling mat up until that point. So that will tell you how good he got that quickly. And to reach 100 wins his senior year is fantastic. He's also an honorable mention All-State football player. He's a 2-time state qualifier in the track and field state championships. And so he's a true 3-sport athlete. And it was awesome to see him get that 100th win. He was so close at Norris on Tuesday night of last week. He got beat by 1 point to the number 5 rated kid in the state from Norris. And we thought we were going to get to celebrate that night, but we had to postpone it till Saturday. But it was pretty exciting nonetheless.
100 wins is a great accomplishment for a career at any point. And I find out after we kind of put some things out on Twitter today that I need to ask you about some other guys that might not be too far off that mark as well.
Yeah, you bet. I tell you, when I took over as head wrestling coach in Fairbury, we had 4 total in our history 100 match winners. And we added one my first year here, John Fletcher. He is now wrestling at Doane University. And this year, earlier in the year, right before Christmas, we had Damian Green, who's a state medalist for us and a 2-time qualifier. He cracked that win. He's up to 114 right now. Patrick became the 7th person in Jeff history. And we have 3 more guys. Jacob Johnson's at 94, Paul Mox at 91, and Anthony Moyers at 92. And so if we stay healthy and continue to do the things we are doing, we should be able to add 3 more to that list here very, very quickly.
It seems crazy that we could have that many guys hit it all at the same time. They're like, let's go back a little bit now to last night, the Blue River Riot, which I will give wrestlers a ton of credit. The names of tournaments or nights of wrestling, the Flatwater Fracas, the Blue River Riot, that's awesome. It was in Wilbur, 4 teams competing, and again, another team win for you guys.
Yeah, we love that Blue River Riot, and I'm with you. I love the name. I think it's awesome. We got to brand the sport of wrestling. Anytime you can come up with a cool, creative name for a tournament, we're going to jump all over that. So the Blue River Riot is a fun one. We get to see some local teams in Wilbur, Claytonia. That's a team right down the road that has had immense success over the last few years. And so being able to lock horns with those guys is an awesome honor and a great opportunity. Obviously, got a district opponent in Seward, who was there. And so anytime you see a district opponent, you want to beat them head-to-head. And a very tough West Point Beamer team is there. And so for us to go down there, it's a quick turnaround from the tournament on Saturday, having guys make weight on Tuesday. Our kids did a great job. Everybody got down to weight. We went in there healthy yesterday. And to walk away with the team title is awesome. We had 8 individual champions, and we just had some guys wrestle lights out last night. I think the highlight of the night was our heavyweight, Paul Mock. He upset the number 1 rated kid in Class C, Riley Homolka from Wilbur. And so that was a kind of an exclamation point on the end of the night. And we were very, very happy and pleased with our effort last night.
That was my next question, actually, was to ask you about Paul and Riley. That had to be a fun one, obviously. How do those types of matches in a regular season environment hope to prepare the guys for February and in the middle of February, especially if you can make it all the way to Omaha?
Yeah, they're huge. And like I said, we really try to travel and see as many quality teams as we can. Heavyweight's one of those weights where it's kind of tough to see quality heavyweights week in and week out. And so it's a great opportunity for Paul to see one of the best in the state. I think Husker Matt has the power ratings out. They have Riley Homolka rated 3rd. And so for a kid to be 45 minutes down the road from us and to be able to go head-to-head with him, it's an awesome opportunity. The more quality matches you can get leading into February, the more you are seasoned and prepared for that February schedule. And we've been preaching all year long. We're pursuing February, so every little thing we do up until that point is in preparation for the things that happen in February. And so last night was a great opportunity for Paul. He stepped up to the challenge, wrestled a great match against a really, really quality heavyweight, and we're able to come out on top. And so it was a fun one.
As we're getting to the end of our interview, I want to go back actually one time to the very beginning of the season. I just remember it as we're talking here. You guys had a really interesting way to start your season outside, which doesn't happen with wrestling very much. Talk a little bit about wrestling on the football field.
It was an awesome deal. Kind of had a brainstorm. I was trying to think of a way to promote our sports. And when I say promote our sport, I'm not talking just as a whole. I'm talking selling wrestling in the community of Fairbury, Nebraska, and inside our school walls. And so I wanted to come up with a pretty unique idea for a way for our public to come see the wrestlers. I thought the first day of practice would be a great opportunity. And thank goodness the weather held out. It was like 70 degrees that day in the middle of November. And so we had 2 mats laid out on our practice football field, opened it up to the public, and had a lot of people come. We had a great showing with fans there, and it was a fun way to start the year. We're just trying to promote the sport of wrestling as best as we can, and it was a great, great night, and I think things went as good as they could have, considering it was the middle of November. But I said earlier, God is definitely a wrestling fan because he blessed us with a beautiful day that day. So,
how about some of the things that are coming up for you guys as far as tournaments and the competition? Got to be getting closer to the end as we go through.
We are, and we've kind of set up our schedule. We want to be peaking at the best we can be in February. And so our tough tournaments are coming up from here. We really want to see the best that the state has to offer. This Saturday, we're going to Nebraska City, and some of the best teams in the state of Nebraska are going to be there. And then we follow that with invites at Plattsmouth, and then we go out to Columbus for a duel. And then we actually go out to the Omaha Scut tournament. And so we're going to go see the best that the state has to offer, and we need to continue to raise our level because the competition's going to start getting pretty salty here. And so going forward, we just want to keep our nose to the grindstone, do what we do. I tell our kids if we put in the work, the results will take care of themselves. And so far that's happened, and we're going to keep getting better as we progress throughout the season here.
It'll be fun to follow along for you guys the rest of the year. That is Fairbury wrestling coach Derek Garfield. Thanks so much for the time. We wish you guys the best of luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thanks so much, and we appreciate all you guys do.
We will be back with more Prep Huddle Live right here on StriveSports.com after this.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself.
This is what I'd recommend.
Let's get to work.
Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work a computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back to Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. Now we've got on the phone on the Truck Center Company's hotline, Matt Kern. He's the head girls coach at York High School. Coach, thanks a lot for taking some time today. And 10-1 on the season so far. I want to get your thoughts on just about the midway point of the season, how the team has fared so far.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the year. You know, I mean, you look at where we're at right now after the seniors that we lost that graduated last year, and I think we surprised a few people in the media, which is good. But I know our girls expected it, and they've just been playing at a very high level. We've got some big wins, some quality wins, and just played pretty consistent overall. It's a good start to the year.
Your only loss on the season was to Elkhorn in your own holiday tournament after Hastings St. Cecilia takes you to the wire in overtime. Elkhorn does defeat the Dukes. What do you and the girls take away from a loss? So many things to learn, even in a loss. What did you guys take away?
Yeah, I mean, a loss can be good in so many ways. You know, you hate to lose a game, but the reality is that game made us kind of check ourselves, check what we needed to do offensively and how we need to clean it up. Because we were just that Elkhorn game, we were really inconsistent. And against St. Cecilia, we were lucky to get out of that one. That St. Cecilia team was very good, and you know, that tournament in general just helped us kind of see where we were and what we needed to do. And a lot of it had to do with our offense, just kind of improving our spacing and movement.
Your team is also then coming off a grinded-out kind of win over Northwest this past weekend. What do you learn from that win?
Well, you know, we got down 10-0. That Northwest team is great. They're so young and so talented and well-coached. It's a team that I know we're going to end up seeing again soon, and they're going to be a threat for years to come. And what we got, you know, when you get down by 10, you have to fight back. We saw some great depth. You know, our team, girls off the bench really stepped up and made some big baskets, and I think the team just relaxed when they saw that. And the overall play as a whole was so much better when the bench scoring is up.
Grand Island Central Catholic, Crete, and Norris. You guys get progressively stiffer competition over the next 3 games. What's the focus for you as a coach to try to get into these girls' heads about a stretch like this over the next 7 days?
Yeah, we've talked about it. We got 4 road games in a row against teams like we've been playing. Obviously, it started with the holiday tournament and Gretna at home. I mean, those are tough games. And now all of a sudden, we've got to go to Central Catholic. We've got to go to Crete. Those are 2 very high quality teams, up and coming teams that, we talk about how when it comes down to district time, you've got to win multiple games in a row against great teams. Conference tournament the same way. Great teams, multiple in a row over 2 or 3 days stretch. And then obviously if you get so lucky to get to the state tournament. But so these games are a great challenge for us at the midpoint to show where we're at, to establish ourselves as a top tier team in the state. That's always what we want to do. And when you're playing these type teams day in and day out, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you're going to hopefully continue to improve and prepare yourself for the tournament time here at the end of the year.
You mentioned earlier that your bench had stepped up big in that Northwest game. Who are some of the girls that have stepped up overall in general for the year so far?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got some great girls. I mean, I talked a little bit about how we graduated great players, but we knew we had a lot coming back with such great talent. I mean, you look at the Tate Hansons of the world. Tate Hanson has been a player for us for so long. It seems like she's been here for 5-6 years, I'm sure, to other coaches. But she's a senior. She played since she was a freshman. She's the leader of this team, and she does so much offensively with her shooting and passing especially. She's legitimately looking at playing college basketball in GPAC somewhere next year, so that would be exciting. Other seniors, Jenny Cadeby, she's coming off that knee injury. I mean, I'm just ecstatic where she's at. She hasn't lost a step, and I would argue she's quicker. She's one of the best defenders in the state, one of the best defenders that I've ever been able to coach. And she understands her role on this team and just attacks the rim at a high level. Other seniors, Kennedy Mogul, she's coming off the bench. Her confidence just is soaring. She's making shots, being more aggressive, taking shots. People don't realize how long she is. She is a long, talented and gifted athlete who can jump up, block shots, make big plays. It's been fun to watch her development. And obviously, a lot of people know about our junior class, which is loaded. And, Lauren Riley set a school record against St. Cecilia, putting up 36 points. That's a pretty special night, no matter who you are. But Lauren's a gifted ball handler and talented player and can score at the best of them. Carson jumps our posts, and she's a nice player that I think that some people are underestimating, and I like that. And have a little, grudge going on there, so she can play big in some games. And Carly Severs, you just name it. Tenley Hanson, one of the top shooters. Carly's a top shooter. We've got all kinds of girls coming out doing a lot of things for us, and it's fun to see their development. I know that they expect to be one of the top teams, and that's what we're going for as the season continues.
Any coach, as they get ready for a season, no matter the sport, always has a little bit of an idea how they think the season might go or how individuals might perform. And then you get into the season, and sometimes there's got to be some moments or some players or some things that make you go, I wasn't really expecting that. Is any surprises for you yet?
This team has I think you're actually, because early in the year, we weren't sure how scoring was going to be. We weren't sure what our defense was going to be like. This is a team that wants to score. Obviously, we've been held down a few games, but this team wants to go out, shoot quick, and score points. They don't want to waste time in an offensive movement. They want to just get going, which I like. At times it's great. If you're hitting shots, it's demoralizing to the defense. If we're getting a quick shot scoring and stopping and just keep doing that. There's at times, obviously, we want to slow it down. And that's something we've been working on, just control the tempo at our pace. But the offensive mindset of this team is probably one of the best mindsets of any team that I've ever been able to coach, just the way they attack and want to score. Very similar to last year, but there's just something different. So it's been a pleasant surprise. And our depth is just building every day. More girls getting contributions on the court, and especially offensively.
Like we said, about the halfway point of the season so far. Some big games coming up in the near future. Central Conference tournament is coming up, and then the big push at the end of the regular season, hopefully into the postseason. What's the biggest key for this girls' team to getting to accomplish their goals this season? We've got to be able to establish tempo with our offense.
They can run and gun. We can run and gun. We love to run and gun. But, we've been caught in a couple games where we couldn't score, and that hurts us. Or or like when the length of Elkhorn defensively bothered us, we couldn't score. We've got to be able to create the tempo that we want. Our press is good, but offensively, we've got to take care of the ball at a higher level than we have been, and make sure that we're moving the ball around a little bit before we take those shots. There's a time and place to do a quick shot, but these girls are so talented and they know how good they can be that we're still working on some things, and it's good to know that we haven't reached our potential yet, and we haven't peaked out at what we need to do.
Matt Kern, the head coach at York High School for the girls team. Thanks a lot for the time, Coach, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thanks a lot, and thanks for what you guys do for high school sports.
Stay tuned with us here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. We're going to head to Exeter-Milligan, talk with girls coach Jackson Krejci. That's coming up next.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself.
This is what I'd recommend.
Let's get to work.
Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work a computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back to Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. It is time now to check in with more girls basketball. It seems to be the theme of the week. We're checking in with Exeter-Milligan girls coach Jackson Krejci. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about your season so far. 10-2 as the record stands as of Monday night when the games were over, but a 9-0 start before a couple of losses. Your assessment of the first part of the season for the girls?
Well, I've just been really happy with our effort. We had three starters coming back this year, and offensively, I was really happy with the way we've spread the ball around, and we've had 4 different leading scorers throughout our first 11 games, so that's been a positive thing. We kind of got tripped up the last couple games against a good Dillard team and a good Shelby team, but we bounced back Monday, first part of Budecas, and I was happy the way the girls bounced back with adversity, going through a couple losses, and but it's good for us. It's good for any team, and we're just happy with our overall effort this first part of the year.
There's an old coaching saying that says you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. So especially with Shelby Rising City last week, what did the girls kind of take away from that game that said, we need to do X, Y, or Z a little better?
Well, I think you just got to be ready to play each and every night, and when you start off pretty well in the season, every team's going to give you your best shot, and we just didn't do the things we had been doing offensively. We didn't attack as well as we had. We didn't move the ball around the perimeter as well as we had. But a lot of that you got to give credit to Shelby. They did a good job defensively, and we just weren't in the offensive mindset throughout the game, and we weren't. We just didn't hit shots, and we struggled. We struggled for the first time all year on that end, and but like I said, a lot. Like you said, going through a loss. Now we know the things we need to work on, and I thought we improved on Monday on those things. So we're hoping we can, start another little run here. But we know January is extremely difficult with Mudecas and conference, and next week regular season we have Meridian and BDS. So there's not an easy game on the schedule.
Right, you got Meridian and BDS on the regular season schedule next week. You got Meridian coming up on Thursday. You could see BDS in theory later in the week for Mudecas. So what do you hope to get out of a tournament like Mudecas, knowing that you got to turn around and play, again, really good quality competition, and then you go to CRC, and you kind of see the same teams for the way the schedule might work out for this year?
Yeah, I think 2 years ago we played Meridian 4 times throughout the whole year, including districts, so you really get to know a lot about each other, and with that being said, with Meridian and BDS and us, we're pretty similar to a certain extent, but we just kind of stress to the girls, it's going to be, the team that, being evenly matched, it's going to be the team that, takes care of the ball and values each possession the best. And, since you do see them over and over, you take what you get with each game, and you hope the next time you improve on some of the things maybe you didn't do so well on. And but we just know going in it's going to be a battle, and it was like that for them in volleyball, and it's going to be the same way in basketball. So, but either way, we're looking forward to the opportunity.
You bring up a really interesting point, because in the smaller classes you see so many athletes, whether it's boys or girls, that they'll go from volleyball to basketball to track, and so there's got to be at some point there's a lot of familiarity with just who is wearing that other jersey, and how do you think that plays out as you go through? Like you said, you can play the same team quite a few times, and by the time you add up volleyball and basketball, you might be kind of sick of seeing each other at some point in January.
Well, I think, I'm sure from the girls' point of view, it's probably, they'd like to play someone new, but I think, as a competitor, that, you want to bring your best effort each game, and, whether you're playing against, guards or post, you want to just take it to that person and, try to beat them each and every night. But, it probably does get a little old for the girls, but they know they don't have a choice, and you just gotta bring your A game each night.
As you go through the rest of the Mudecas week this week, what is the biggest thing you're trying to instill in the girls that will hopefully get them ready for February and ultimately, hopefully, in March?
Well, I just think, I think defensively we've done some good things. We're pretty, we can always improve there, but I'm happy with the way we play on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, we just got to get a little more of the attacking mindset, and just, I guess, a little more of just the selfish nature. We obviously want to play team ball, but a lot of times we're a little too unselfish when we have opportunities where we want to attack a little bit more, whether we're playing man or zone. We've had some opportunities, throughout the first 11 games, but I think just to be a little more consistent on the offensive end in that aspect. So, and Monday we saw a lot better job of that, and we hope, throughout the season, piece by piece, we get a little bit better on that end.
Excited about it, because the rest of this week we will even get to check in with the Timberwolves down at Mudecas on Friday and see what transpires. Coach Jackson Krejci, thanks a lot for the time. Best of luck to you and the girls the rest of the way.
All right, thanks a lot.
Stay tuned. We will be back with more Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself.
This is what I recommend.
Let's get to work.
Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
The trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back here to Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. It's time for another segment that we hope continues to grow as we go through the rest of this school year and into next school year and years to come. A little highlights package of some different things that have happened on the Strive Network that our Strive schools are producing. And so first off, we want to check in with Kearney and Lincoln Northeast. It was a big one there. The girls game, Kearney girls upset number 2, I believe at the time, Northeast. And the guys game was a fantastic double overtime thriller. Robert Goff on the call for Kearney High and Lincoln Northeast.
Driving in, Jake over to Shiloh Robinson in for 2. Koski, now Techmeyer for 3, and it's good. Into Tupper, blocked by Techmeyer, saved. Oh, kicked up from Koski back to Coster. Floating jumper, no good. Coster with his own tip. 8 seconds remaining. Jake Techmeyer with the ball. Trying to finish this half off. Come on. Come on, Carson Schwartz for 3. Good at halftime. Koski with the rebound. Clevenger for 3. It's good. Trying to drive in strong. Out to Shiloh for 3. Robinson. Yeah. Meyer with the ball. Out to Coster. Into Shiloh. Clevenger for 3. Yes. Techmeyer. Jake driving. Nice drive. Jake Techmeyer. Jake to throw it in. Inbounds there to Kosker. Gosti. And 1. Right next, side by side, UNK has a wrestling duel and another gym 3. Shattuck. Oh, that's no call. A little body contact. Techmeyer with the drive. Count it. 10 seconds remaining. No good. That was no good.
Jake Stokely did the editing of the highlights, and obviously you can tell it was a fun night for the Rowdies out there at Kearney High, one of our new Strive schools for this school year, and they've had a lot of fun, obviously. Jake put together the highlights, and we thank him for that. And so this is an encouragement for our Strive schools when we've got fun, exciting games like that. Upload your recordings of your games into your dashboard through Strive TV, and we can kind of take care of some of those highlights. And so when we know it's a big game, or we know it's an exciting game, or we got a big finish, whatever it might be, if we've got that in your channel, then we can put the highlight together as well. We got one more highlight that we want to get to. And this wasn't in a channel, it wasn't on the Strive Network, but it was with a Strive school. And it seems like we've done a lot with Aurora lately. Well, it's because the Huskies keep making plays. And we got a good one here. Austin, let's roll the footage. This is from Doug and Jake Kittle. I think sent us a couple of different angles of this, but it is what it is. And it was a big play for junior Henry Penner as he goes up for the alley-oop dunk against Elkhorn this past weekend. Spotlight. Yes, they take this off. That's a nice spotlight. I like that, Austin. And the alley-oop gets the crowd out of their seat. That was Huddle-esque there, and the athleticism for Henry. So one last time, Henry Penner good at basketball. It looks like SportsCenter. It should have been we should have tagged it SC Top 10. But we need to. We'll be coming up with a highlight. I believe a tag, if you will, hashtag, so that you can tag your highlights, and we'll feature them here every week on Prep Huddle Live. I think one more break, and we're going to try to get Tony Chapman in here and talk about some Strive 5 games that are coming up on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things, technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy?
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself.
This is what I'd recommend.
Let's get to work.
Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Back here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. Very happy to have Fred Ivey. He is, he wears many hats actually at Lewiston Schools. But for today, we're talking a little bit about the Mudecas tournament. Fred, thanks a lot for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about the tournament. This is the 88th year that this basketball tournament has transpired and been put on. What does it mean to Beatrice to host this type of an event every year?
Well, I just think that's awesome. Think about that. 80-some years of continuous tournament. It's one that when I go out of state and talk to people about that, it just amazes them that we have been doing this for so long. So it really is a neat thing, and I think it's a great thing for Beatrice. Brings in a lot of people, even people that maybe aren't totally associated with the school on a day-to-day basis or even a week-to-week. They still like to come and see the tournament.
The Kiwanis there in Beatrice has played a huge role as host for this tournament for the last 13 years. What are some of the things that group has done for the tournament and really for the auditorium as well? They've had a huge hand in everything.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I think it brings awareness to what Beatrice has to offer too. And I think the groups that work together to do this just makes a huge difference. And I've never heard anyone complain about the tournament, and it's kind of neat that we do those things of recognizing the teams from the past. In fact, Lewiston has a team that they're honoring this year for a 25-year deal. So it's pretty cool. Brings back a lot of people that maybe hadn't seen each other for a long time. So really great stuff.
It's important when you've got a tournament or an event with a lot of history that event and that history is kind of made known to the new kids coming up, if you will. What are some of the things that you mentioned the honoring a 25-year team? What are some of the things that go on through the week that the tournament puts on as well?
Well, the biggest thing I think is just the venues too. It's such a good thing to when they seed these teams, it just puts a lot of great competition. I think that's what you see the most. And I see people at those games that have nothing to do with this, and boy, they're excited about doing that. And I think that's the stuff that goes on in the week. It just brings people together, gives them a chance to see some teams and some people that they really don't know. And like for our game last night, we went into overtime and happened to fall to Pawnee City, but a lot of people there just excited about seeing that and wanting to tell me about what happened 15 years ago when they played there. So pretty cool.
There's obviously great teams, boys and girls, that have been in this. What do you think it means to those teams when they can walk out of that gym Friday or Saturday night and say, I'm a Mudecas champion?
Well, I think it's a huge thing. Tournaments always bring out the best in some people, and, it takes a lot of luck sometimes. It just takes a good run and those type of things. But I think anybody that wins that championship has got to think that, this is a highlight of my season and that type of thing, at least to that point, and points to a bigger thing. Everybody wants to go to state and do those things, but just winning the Mudecas is a big thing, I think.
Also, Jane White was a journalist there in southeast Nebraska, and she passed away last May. She had, I understand, a huge impact on the tournament and the area. Can you tell us a little bit about what the tournament is doing this week to honor her?
Well, Jane did really have a big part of this. She I don't know, she was just fun to be around. She was always excited. She did a good job of trying to find all these things about her or about the teams and just did great stats. One of the things she did during the week was make snacks for the room for the administrators and that type of thing. And everybody I know misses that, but just misses being around her. And, she always was part of picking the all-conference or the all-tournament teams and stuff. And so that's changed a little bit too. But it's hard to replace her. And I know that it was such a sudden thing that it really touched a lot of people for everything that she did. So.
And finally, before we let you go, and again, thanks for doing this today, as you get into this week and you look forward to Friday and Saturday and even Thursday and all of the games, what is the thing about the tournament that you look forward to personally the most?
Well, I think for us at Lewiston, our girls won their first-round game, and I think that's the first time we've won that first-round game in a long time. And so we're looking forward to that. We play again on Thursday, and it's exciting. We have kids that want to get out of school and go, and we're going to make that possible for them. So it's exciting for me because the girls, like I said, have kind of been down and have won, I think, 3 or 4 games in a row now and just played real well. So that's exciting for me too.
Fred Ivey, thank you so much. We look forward to maybe another conversation or two as we get ready for Friday and Saturday coverage here on Strive Sports. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
All right, thank you.
We've got one more commercial break. When we come back, Tony Chapman in studio. That's next.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy?
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself.
This is what I'd recommend.
Let's get to work.
Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
We are ready for more Prep Huddle Live here on Strive Sports. Come on in, Tony. Tony Chapman is joining us literally from the road. We have a microphone and everything ready for him. Wow. And we're just gonna go with this live. There's Taylor Siebert too. Yeah. Throw that on quick. It's on. You're ready to go.
Let's see if I can work this thing.
Awesome.
Is that good?
Just fine.
I'm just gonna hold this thing. I'm not even gonna be.
Just hold it right there. That's all we need. Let's talk some big games coming up on the Strive Network. If you've got any prep at all, I'm going to be absolutely amazed.
I don't. I'm going to tell you about On the Sideline.
Yes.
That happened on the road while I was coming here from Beatrice doing some bank work. So.
You mean you have a real job?
I have a real job. Can you believe it? So.
I feel way underdressed all of a sudden.
Here are a few things I'm looking at for the rest of January. So the next 3 weeks, I think three good conference tournaments. You guys are going to Madacus this weekend, which I think is right up there with my Homer tournament, the Crossroads Conference Tournament, which is in 2 weeks. But I think in between, one that's kind of slowing under the radar is the Goldenrod Conference Tournament, and we could see again Humphrey St. Francis and Riverside in that boys final. That'd be next Saturday on the 21st at St. Paul High School. So I think that would be one that might be worth the trip for me from Grand Island. That should be fun.
And you mentioned On the Sideline. What else do we have coming up?
Well, we're gonna go way out west. We're gonna go to Mitchell. Exchanged some emails with Brock Ayler here in the last couple days. The Mitchell girls are 6th in Class C1. They are 11-1, and I think when everybody thinks of Mitchell, they think of fast runners. They have such a great sprint history out there, but we're going to talk about their girls basketball program. A great start, I think one of their best starts in school history, and so that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll have something whipped up for you tomorrow.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We've got some fun stuff that we're going to cut up actually from today's show. You were on the road, but we had a great talk with Derek Garfield, the wrestling coach at Fairbury. We talked about, Derek and I talked about the very beginning of the season, and I know you and I had a couple of comments back and forth. When they started their season, Fairbury Wrestling did, they did it in the first day of practice outside on the football field, open to the public with the mats out there. And I know we had a couple chuckles, but it was a really cool thing, and Derek really liked it too.
Would be tough to do that today. The wind has come through. Tim and his brother run such awesome wrestling programs in Central City and Fairbury, and I guess it's fun for us to be a part of both of those. They have great history there, both of those guys. And Fairbury, those boys, they made a football playoffs this year for the first time in a long time. Some of those guys have transferred that over to some good wrestling success, as you said. They won the Central City Invite over the weekend. Coming up here in a couple weeks, I think we'll get to stream that Central 10 Conference tournament. It'll be at Northwest, and they're really looking forward to
basketball. Is it
really looking forward to? No, I was wrestling.
Wrestling.
I believe Northwest is
Wrestling
hosting wrestling, and I think they're going to hopefully try to stream that. So we'll see. They were streamed wrestling last night, a big dual win for Coach Seabranch. They beat number 2 O'Neill 48-28. So that was a heck of a win for Northwest. So exciting times. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about was. How about those Strive schools? We've got to get Lincoln Northeast to come over to Strive. They got Kearney the Kearney girls upset Lincoln Northeast. I think a lot of people think Lincoln Northeast girls could be legitimate state title contender. If you're a Husker fan that's our age, you remember Mike Minder, his daughter McKenna is the freshman point guard for Northeast. But over the weekend, Kearney beats Lincoln Northeast girls, and then the boys followed up with an overtime upset. And then, boy, you wonder how much lag there was last night, because you could watch Omaha Central really controlled things against Lincoln Northeast from the start. And Lincoln Northeast is good. All 5 starters back from a state tournament team last year. I've been able to see them a couple times over the past few years. A good basketball team. And boy, what Omaha Central did last night. I think I read what was 17 assists and 26 made baskets, and 81-48 or something, I think was the final. Just that's a really good win for Coach Holling's team.
Yeah, and I keep reading that Roman Barron, and I've heard the name Roman Barron since last year, but he he was the catalyst, the trigger man, I guess, for that offense last night, and always fun for the Eagles' nest to kind of get going for Central there. You mentioned that we've got obviously a big tournament for us this week. Our first trip to Beatrice for the Mudecas. Put you on the spot. Do you know what Mudecas stands for?
Oh boy, you probably just had it on with the Lewiston.
No, we didn't mention it. But
athletic director.
Would you have any guess? Probably not.
I wouldn't even have a clue.
Music, declaratory, athletics.
Oh wow!
Because
excellent.
It's not just a basketball tournament. They do the volleyball tournament in the fall. They also do speech tournaments. So that's the declaratory. So you've got and music competitions in the spring. So you've got the athletics, you've got volleyball, you've got the two big basketball tournaments. 16 schools, 2 divisions. That's another thing that you don't usually see. It's a lot of schools in what's not necessarily a conference, but it's a group that stays together quite a bit, and then they do several different competitions in different, like we said, athletics and music and speech and drama as well.
And I think they seed, if I'm not mistaken, by
vote.
By vote.
They vote who should be in the A division, who should be in the B division.
No kidding. I thought it was always by
we've got a lot to talk about
points.
then,
Yeah,
don't we?
Obviously you do. Well, let's talk about a possible final in that girls' side where you could have number 1 Falls City Sacred Heart and number 3 Exeter-Milligan. I think I obviously wasn't able to hear your interview with Jackson Krejci, but the Timberwolves are playing really well, and boy, they're setting themselves up to be prepared for late February and March with the Mudecas and then the Crossroads Crossroads Conference. Obviously, 4 ranked girls teams in the Crossroads Conference right now. So their next 2.5 weeks should really tell a lot about what Exeter-Milligan is facing.
You know what Exeter-Milligan has next week on the not tournament week?
Oh boy,
Meridian BDS.
Oh wow! So yeah, they'll be fully prepared for the York City Auditorium the last week of January. That should be fun. And Hampton, they had obviously the great volleyball season, and then 2 early losses to BDS and Heartland, I think, who were both ranked in D1. The win against Meridian, who's 5th or 6th in Class D1, and I think they've won maybe 8 or 9 in a row. And so yeah, that's going to be, as always, that'll be a really fun tournament. Speaking
of Hampton, we saw yesterday that Max Preps named them the top small school in the country. Wow, number one. Lost 2 sets all year to Exeter-Milligan. That was at the CRC tournament there in York. And then rolled through state and undefeated, obviously, for the season. Like we said, only dropped the 2 sets. But Max Preps, there's plenty of states that Max Preps is the place to find every single score and stat, and it's kind of required by their state association. Other states don't have that. So, but boy, there's not too many places that can really have the pulse of what is going on in the nation quite like Max Preps. So if they say you're the best small school volleyball team in the country, you wouldn't get too big of an argument, probably.
You don't. It's really interesting as I read that post that they put on there and had their All-American teams with that and everything else. And I really get when it really hit me, or I got to looking at it. Of course, they ranked them. They said Hampton was about in the top 1,200 in the nation. You think about how many high school teams there are in the nation. So that's a really neat deal. But they had their small school All-American teams on there. Jayla Zimmerman from Malcolm was a first-team small school All-American. But what really hit me was Sarah Swanson from Elkhorn South was on the second team, and of course Elkhorn South is nearly a Class A school in Nebraska, so it gives you an idea of school population in our state is probably not, they're looking at California, I'm sure New York and Florida and Texas and Ohio, so Elkhorn South is also considered a small school to Max Prep, so and for Omaha Skutt, obviously then to be, 3rd or 4th in the nation says a lot about volleyball
amongst all of those. And we talked to Burke Brown with Nebraska Prep Volleyball all fall, and every time he was on, he was like, everybody's ranked too low. We need more of those teams. And obviously Scott was way up there and very deservedly so. But the quality of competition that you see, whether it's football or basketball or volleyball or whatever it might be, is top notch in the state. What else we got this week? Today?
I don't know. We're running. We might be going to Gothenburg tomorrow night. I'm still efforting a final answer for you. It looks like you are maybe going to go, but Gothenburg Kozad tomorrow night. Excited to see Dawson Graham, and that's kind of a rivalry game. You get that. There's about 15 miles apart, and Southwest Conference. They've been kind of in that same conference forever. My dad grew up in Lexington in that same conference, and I don't know that anybody along Highway 30 liked anybody. They just kind of all beat each other up. So that'll be an interesting one in Kozad tomorrow night. The Haymakers, I think, are 6 and 7 and 4, and boy, Gothenburg's playing really well. I think up now to 11 and 0, and top 2 in the points in C1. So it'll be fun to watch them as this year progresses too. We only have about 30 days left until district basketball. So, and like 30 days until state wrestling.
Right.
So
I think we're
in the
probably
here.
less than that for state wrestling. We mentioned Dawson Graham there at Gothenburg, but Kozad's got a really interesting basketball story, and it's something that we're going to try to, I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we're working on something there with Coach Danielson.
We're hoping, and we should probably at least ask these guys to do this. I haven't even really done it yet, but I think they'll say yes. If you don't know the Danielson family, a great family from York, 2 sons still playing at York High School. Brady is starter for the Dukes as a sophomore. Ty, who was one of probably the first real kids who got involved with us, interacting with Strive Sports, is playing at Nebraska Kearney, and of course Drew now, who's the oldest, played basketball at Hastings College and is now the head coach at Kozad after I believe an assistant stint at Elkhorn High School. So I'm sure a lot of miles put on the Danielson card down the interstate this winter. So it'll be interesting to see what we can put together and hopefully share a little time with the whole family of 6 and see what we spit out here maybe in a couple 3 weeks or so.
So that should be fun. With that, I think this has been the most fun Prep Huddle Live we have ever done.
2017
of 2000, or at least or in the case of Austin's graphic, January 11th of 2016.
Oh well.
But
Back to the future.
It is what it is. So we want to thank all of our guests again on the Truck Center Company's hotline. I can't remember them all now. We had Fred Ivey with Lewiston. We had Jackson Krejci with Exeter-Milligan. We had Matt Kern with the York girls. And, of course, we had Derek Garfield with Fairbury. There we go in the reverse order as we go. So that's what we've got for the show today. We'll see you again next week on Prep Huddle Live, and we'll be down in Beatrice. We'll see you at the Mudecas basketball tournament Friday and Saturday. You can get all of the third place and championship games from the B and A division, everything there. That is at the old auditorium. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Been in the York auditorium plenty. I want to see the atmosphere and kind of soak that atmosphere up Friday and Saturday for the girls and the boys finals. You can see all of those games right here on strivesports.com, elsewhere on the post, elsewhere on the webpage. So until next week, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.